Hello, welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone is welcome to join. And we have our first participant connecting with us. Not complete yet. Okay, not yet. Okay. Alex Turpin, you are the first person. Please. Okay.
Hello, Tanajan.
Yes, good to see you.
Good to see you too. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, one sec. Hello, Tanajan. I wanted to ask Tanajan. So I've been thinking about the 8 precepts, and I would like to ask about one or two of those, please. So the first thing I wanted to ask is, am I okay with the precept against eating at the wrong time? Would I be okay eating twice per day as long as I don't eat past midday? Have I understood that correctly?
It just means you cannot observe this sixth precept yet, that's all. It's neither wrong or right, it's just that you're not doing it.
Okay, so that would count. That wouldn't count as adhering to the all the 8 precepts if I
That's
ate
right.
twice.
Yeah,
I,
you just keep the seventh precept instead.
I see. I see. I'm perfectly happy to do that. It's just the practicalities of eating that amount of food that I think I would struggle with. That's the only reason at the moment that I don't do that.
Fine, it's all right. It just means you're not ready yet.
I see. I see. And in regard to the precept against entertainment, now a number of the supermarkets that I go into, at least in my country, in the United Kingdom, have music playing in the background. Would it count? Could I still follow the 8 precepts if I were to do my shopping in such a supermarket?
Yes, yes, no problem. I go on my arms round. Sometimes I hear music on the arms road,
I see.
but you're not indulging in it. That's the point. That's all.
I see. I see. But someone could indulge in that. I'm not saying I would. I'm just trying to understand it. So,
Yes,
so,
if
so
you
someone.
indulge in, you're breaking the precept.
I see, I see. Okay. So even if someone just went shopping, but they enjoyed the music and they were thinking about the music, that would count as a violation of that precept.
Yes, yes.
I see, I see. Okay, okay. I also wanted to share with you some good news. I moved house recently, and I'd been speaking to you a number of weeks ago about living in the city and the harm that causes to my practice. And I've moved recently to the countryside, and I live near a forest, and I've moved recently, and I've been going on 1 or 2 walks, and I've been practicing my walking meditation, and I think it's been more fruitful than it was in the city. So I'm pleased about that.
That's very good because one of the factor that affect your practice is the place where you live, whether it's conducive or not conducive to your practice. So you have to choose the place that is conducive to your practice, support your practice.
I see. But then there are some people who say things like, well, it's not the environment, it's the mind it's the mind that's the problem, not the environment. Yeah, what would you say about that?
Well, it is the environment that affect the mind. See, if your mind is still weak, the environment will affect you. But if you have a strong mind, then it doesn't matter where you are. But that means you have to be enlightened already. You don't need the practice anymore, so you can live anywhere, be anywhere.
I see. So even someone like the Buddha could be in the middle of, I don't know, New York City,
That's
and the
right.
noise and
That's right.
disturbance wouldn't bother him. Is that right?
Yes, you can go to New York and preach and give sermon and so forth if you wanted to.
I see. I see. Okay. The final thing I wanted to say is that I believe I accidentally misquoted the Buddha a couple of sessions ago, and I would just like to apologize for that. I said that if anyone tells that the Buddha said if anyone tells a deliberate lie, then there's no evil they're incapable of. But it turns out it's actually, if for anyone who tells a deliberate lie without any shame or remorse, that there's no evil that they're incapable of. So I just wanted to correct that.
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Tanajan.
We're not perfect yet, so we make mistakes. As long as we admit our mistake, then that's all right.
Yes. Well, I don't want to slander the Buddha, so I wanted to correct myself. So
Okay, fine. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.
Next, Mike from New York.
Good evening, Tanajan. How does today find you?
How's your weather? Still cold?
It's still cold. Yeah, it's a high of 31 degrees today in New York. So it's very cold. I wanted to send my condolences and my well wishes to all of our friends in California who might be on the call. We're going through a hard time with the fires there. Today I was thinking actually, I had a dream last night, and it had me thinking about storehouse consciousness, and I kind of just wanted to maybe ask you to talk about it a little bit. But I had this idea about storehouse consciousness from reading Dogen, and he was talking about how actualization or realization. There's like this line in this talk that he gave, the Ocean Mudra, the Ocean Mudra Sutra, that he says that the realization is the hand reaching for the pillow in the middle of the night. And I didn't really get that line at first. But then when I've been thinking more about storehouse consciousness versus mind consciousness, and how mind consciousness can say one thing while storehouse consciousness can still act in another way, is it's the path kind of aligning your desired mind consciousness with your storehouse consciousness. I don't know if that makes sense, but let me know what you think, Tanajan.
Well, this is the first time I ever heard of the word storehouse consciousness. So I really cannot comment on this thing. But I think it might mean memory, something that has been stored in your mind. See, the mind has the capacity to store everything that the mind came into contact with, encounter, and it's stored in the mind like a computer. It just depends on whether you can retrieve it or not, that's all. Some people have the ability to be able to retrieve lots of stored information in the mind. Like the Buddha, he can recollect past lives, thousands of them. Yeah. But that's all. That's what it is. That's the nature of the mind. It has the capacity to store things, memory. And it's just a matter of whether you have the capacity, the ability to retrieve them or not. For most of us, we don't have that capability. We forget very easily. We forgot what we did yesterday already, right? You need a calm and peaceful mind in order for you to be able to retrieve things in the past. So don't worry about it. But this memory can have effect in your present because they have karmic force. Like if you used to like something, this will come up every time when you see something you like. You'll start liking it right away without knowing why. Or dislike something same way. But you can change your like and dislike if you have wisdom. If you see what you like can cause you harm, then you can stop liking it. If you can see dislike, what you dislike can make you lose some benefit, you can change your mind and change your dislike into liking also. Like if you dislike meditation, but you've been told that meditation is mentally good for you, then you can start changing this dislike to make it to become liking. So this is our work here, to change things that is harmful for us. If we still do it, like if we're still breaking the precept, then we should stop this because it's harmful to the mind. something like this. So the path of the Buddha is to lead us to peace and contentment through the triple practices of keeping the precepts, meditating the mind to make it still and calm and peaceful, and then develop wisdom to protect this peace from disappearing from the mind. Okay, this is I guess this is about all I can say about what you want me to say. Unless you want something more.
No, that was quite good. Does any, thinking like about likes or dislikes, are all of these, in your perspective, are all these from our present karma, or are these like kind of coming from, our past, our ancestry, or anything like that? Are we like inheriting karma?
Not from our parents, but from our past karmic activity. Last time in your last life, if you used to do something you like, you'll carry this over into this life. What you dislike, you also will carry into this life. It doesn't come from your parents, from your father or your mother. You get the body from your father and your mother, but your like and dislike, you get it from your karmic activities in your past lives. Okay, so we might not like the same thing that our parents like, and sometimes we feel uncomfortable doing something they like that you don't like, because it's not from them. You only get the look, the appearance of your body from them. You look like them, but you don't act like them. Okay,
Thank you, John.
that's all.
That's all for today.
All right. Next, Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
Yes, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Ajahn, I just wanted to comment on a couple of minutes ago. Alex was talking about eating precept. I think there may have been a misunderstanding, because as far as I understand, he was saying he wants to eat twice a day, but both times would be before midday.
Oh, I see. If it's before midday, then he starts breaking the precept.
Right. So I suspect that there may have been a little misunderstanding there.
I thought he was talking about dinner.
No,
Okay.
no.
As long as you don't eat after midday, then you're still keeping this precept. Even if you have to maybe move 1 hour later, I think due to the modern way of having meal, you stop working at midday and have meal at midday. So if you want to be strict with this precept, you might not be able to keep it. But if you say you have to adapt to the existing situation, you have to stop working at midday and eat, then you just move 1 hour later. And this is okay. I think it's okay. Because
Thank
people
you.
sometimes when they go to work, they cannot eat at 11 o'clock, because they still work. They have to stop working at 12 o'clock. Then you have 1 hour off for your meal. And if you eat at 12, according to the precept, then you're breaking it. But according to the intention of precept, I don't think you're breaking it. The intention of precept is to stop you from eating too much. So there's just a time demarcation line. So you cannot eat after this hour at midday.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn. I myself don't have any questions at the moment.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Alvin from Malaysia.
Namaskar, Ajahn. I don't have any question. Just being respect. And also thanks, Ken, for appreciation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi. Next, Tommy from Australia.
Namaskaram Kap.
Yes. How are you? Your transmission is on and off. You have to turn on your microphone again. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I've been living the hermit life now for about 2 months, and I get to the point where I'm pretty much practicing all the time, and the main thing that's coming up is like restlessness. Like I have to go back to the monastery, or I have to move to a better forest, this type of thing. And I'm wondering is what the cure for the restlessness is.
Lack of mindfulness. You have to practice more mindfulness during the day. Not just during meditation. You should be practicing all the time mindfulness, reciting a mantra in your mind all the time, or be mindful of your body activity. Don't let your mind go away thinking about some other thing unnecessarily. Yeah. Only thing when you really have to. If you don't have to, then don't think. Stop it all the time, even before you meditate. Then you can control your restlessness. Your restlessness comes from thinking a lot about a lot of things.
Okay.
So you should start the day with the mantra. As soon as you get up, as soon as you open up your eyes, you start reciting Bhutto, 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 or some other mantra if you like. Be mindful, be mindful, be mindful. Stop thinking, stop thinking.
I wanted to ask about this area in the stomach, like the Chitta Asana. I notice now when my sati is strong, and I coordinate my breathing with my Jongkrom, I can kind of move the energy down there and bring up like this Sukha Vedana. It's kind of like I got a set of lungs in my stomach now. And I'm just wondering kind of what's happening down there in that area.
Well, as far as the feeling of the body, it just depends on how the body eat or what happened to the body. It has nothing to do with the mind. Sometimes I'm not sure why you have a sensation in the stomach. What kind of sensation? Good sensation?
Yeah, like Sukha.
Yes, from what can you find out why?
It's a mixture of like walking Jongkrom and doing Anapanasati at the same time.
Maybe it's the result of your mind being calm and peaceful. Gives you a good sense, a feeling down in your stomach.
Okay.
Because when you are mindful and you're not thinking so much, your mind can be light and easy, and you feel peaceful and happy. So if it's good, if it gives you good feeling, then you can continue on using it.
Okay. And in the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha gives this like timeline of the 7 days, 7 months, 7 years. What's that based on?
Well, based on your ability to practice the triple training, keeping the sila perfectly, and be able to enter into jhana, and understand the Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence regarding the body, the feeling, and the mental state. This is how quick or how slow, it depends on how much you have these three things. Keeping the precepts, and making your mind be entering into jhana, and after coming out of jhana, being able to understand the Four Noble Truths and the nature of the body, the feeling, and the mental state as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, and being able to let go of your attachment or craving for them. Some people have developed this previously in the previous life. They might have already keeping the precept and maybe have jhana. Then it will be very quick for them. Even if they just listen to the Dhamma talk by the Buddha, they could become enlightened right away.
Mhm. So contemplation of chitta, like Kai Vedana chit, that's like the path of practice of an anagami, right?
Yes, once you pass the body and feeling, you enter into the mind, which belongs to the work of the anagami, before becoming an arahant. First, you have to let go of your attachment to the body and feeling first. This is the work of the first three stages of enlightenment: the Sotapanna, the Sakidagami, and the Anagami.
So does a Sakadagami just contemplate feeling in terms of the three characteristics?
No, the Sakidagami contemplate on Asupa to let go of the sensual or sexual cravings. But he is only able to do it halfway, only half the time, not all the time. So he reached the middle way, the middle path between Asotapanna and Anagami. He's on the interior path. And if he could contemplate fully all the time the Asupa, then he can then eliminate all sexual desire from his mind. Then he becomes an Anagami. Then the body will have no problem for him anymore. Then he has to go and study the nature of the mind, the mental states, which he doesn't understand yet, and he still cling to. And you use the three characteristics as the tool. The mental state are also changing. They are not under anybody's control. If you try to control them, you can get dukkha or suffering. So you don't want to have any suffering, you just have to accept them. They come and go, they rise and cease, just like feelings.
Okay, I understand.
Okay, good. Where are you now? Which level are you? Which level are you now?
Earthworm.
First one. Letting go of your body. Let it get old, let it get sick, and let it die.
Just the Patujana.
Putushanai. Okay, anyway, I'm just teasing you anyway.
Thanks, Ajahn.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Jason. You haven't changed your location yet. You're still in Cambodia.
Master Karnkreb. Good evening, Tanajan. Yes, I think I got it changed in there, but it just hasn't posted. I realized I hadn't done it again when I got in the room. Yeah, I'm back in the States, and interestingly, last week when I was talking about my relationship with food, I've been sick for quite some time. I lost my taste for 3 or so days. So that was really interesting to see my relationship with food and how I experienced eating, not being able to taste the food. So it's just a really nice opportunity to practice. Of course, my preference was to taste the food, but it was a case of like the Dhamma unfolding for me, and it provided some good thought for reflection. So yeah, that's a work in progress for me. Not really much to report. I feel like I've kind of turned the corner with being sick, so I look forward to kind of being more out and about. And yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, grateful to be here.
Okay. Just be mindful of whatever you do, wherever you are.
Thank you.
Okay. Next quote from California. You're close to the wildfire.
Hi, John. Yeah, yes, I am. It's very close, and it seems like everyone who is safe knows someone or has friends or family who either evacuated or has lost home. So there's a lot of suffering in the city, and a lot of news about it. And but I think when I look at the events that are happening, and hear the Buddha's teachings, it's just so true. Everything that he said about suffering and impermanence, and how just these belongings, these homes that we have are so impermanent.
Uncontrollable. Anatta. Everything is not under our control.
Yes, and the fire was just acting as fire, and the wind was just acting as wind, and you know, that just as elements. I was wondering if you had some words of how to see the situation clearly, while many people are suffering, and there is a lot of uh, devastation out there.
Well, it just reminds us that life is suffering. It's not good to have life. It's not good to be born. So our goal is to stop rebirth, really. Because every time we have rebirth, we will have to go through this process, this suffering of aging, sickness, and death, and separation from the ones we love, from the things we love.
Yes.
So you can take this experience to teach you the Dhamma. So this is anicca, dukkha, anatta. This is suffering. Life is suffering. It's no good to be born in this world. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean when you're not born, it doesn't mean you disappear. You still exist, but exist without the body, that's all. Because the body is also suffering. Because you're going to have to lose your body one day anyway. Everybody. We all have to lose our body. Like it or not, we cannot choose. We cannot say we can keep the body.
Yes, I saw on the news, actually on the news, some people are interviewed, they will say, I lost everything, but those are just things. At least I have my family. And I keep thinking that that's also not true. That
That's right. Eventually they're gonna lose even their family and their own body.
yes, it feels very real when I see comments made like that. And how can we help? There's a lot of help coming in from across the country. I think it's very nice to see. Is there anything I can say to people who maybe are not familiar with the Buddhist teachings that will encourage them, but are still truthful?
Well, sometimes you have to look at what they need and not and what they need right now is the four basic necessity of life. So I think this is what you should help them with. As far as the knowledge, understanding, it depends on whether they want to find out the answer or not. If they ask you, then you can tell them. But if they don't ask you, then it's not the time or place to tell them this thing.
I understand.
Okay. I think we should be more concerned with ourselves. How are we gonna react to this situation if it happens to us? Because it can happen to anybody, anytime, anywhere, in a different way, but still the same thing. Losing our possession, losing even our life or our family. Are we ready to accept the truth and rise above it, or we're gonna succumb to the suffering of losing the ones we love?
Yeah, I try to I guess there's no real test until it happens. But is there a way to try to penetrate into that knowledge and remind?
Yes, you have to go live alone in the forest for a while. It's like losing everything. Get out of your comfort zone. That's what monks do. Monks who want to become enlightened, they usually go live alone in the forest after they have some basic training from their teachers. Then they wander alone in the forest, teaching the mind to let go of everything that they're attached to, and be able to exist without anything, even without the body. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much.
Try to become a monk for 3 months. This is a Thai tradition for Thai male at the age of 20. They will become a monk for 3 months to learn the basic, to learn the teaching of the Buddha.
Okay, I'll make that my aspiration.
Okay, your bucket list.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you so much, Ajahn.
you're welcome. Next, Rohini from the UK.
Good evening, Ajahn.
You're pretty much like a monk now. You live alone. You have nothing.
Yes, yes. Ajah's teaching helped me a lot to cope with the situations, and I have to see into these issues in families, and keep my mind calm. It's really it's changed my life in last few months. Yeah, yes, I live like a monk actually. Yeah, I don't have any questions, but I just continue to practice as Ajahn advised us to do. Yes, some
Yes,
days,
the
some days
goal.
meditation goes well, but some days I find it hard to control my mind. So that's what I'm struggling at the moment. Yeah.
Yes, you have to practice mindfulness all the time.
Yeah. I Yes, I do understand from the time that I get up and then I think, oh, I'm going to be mindful whole day. But then again, I be mindful for maybe few minutes, 5, 10 minutes, and then I lose my mindfulness and again, back again, on and off. Yeah. So,
This is normal for beginners. It's like babies learning how to stand and walk. Yeah, can stand up for a few few steps and then fall down again and get up again.
As Ajahn said, stop thinking, stop thinking. I used to do the same actually, stop thinking. I'm trying to get the mind back again, but it goes away because at the moment my sister is in hospital, so it's I think she's in her final stage, so it's very hard to bring my mind back from that situation. But still, Ajah's teaching helped me to everything is anitya and dukkha and anatta, and then I think like that. And so this week I was just going in and out of hospital, so which disturbed my meditation really.
But you can make your visit a way of developing wisdom.
Yes,
the
I
hospital-
can see. I can see the suffering of people. You know, my sister is over 80. Now I can see the similar age patients in the hospital. Some people are just. I think they are. I don't know what. I think they. I don't know what word to use. That basically, it's crazy. They keep screaming, and it's really sad to see it.
Because their mind cannot accept aging or
Yes,
or
because
painful
no
feelings.
Dhamma.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't know Dhamma. Even my sister is the same thing because she's lying on the bed, unable to move. She's suffering a lot. If she had Dhamma, so she could have practiced mentally.
You could be
without
calm and
suffering.
peaceful and not
Yeah.
affected by the sickness of the body.
Yeah. Yeah, so thank you, Ajahn, for helping us to cope with these situations and train my mind before I get there. So
Yeah. Follow the
Yeah.
Buddha example. When he saw an old man, a sick man, and a dead man,
yeah,
he bring it back to himself and say, I'll be like this also one day.
yeah,
So I have to prepare myself, my mind for this eventuality.
yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank
the
you.
best way is to keep your mind calm with mindfulness, with meditation and wisdom.
Yes, my mind is, I can see the difference is I'm much, much calmer than about 6 months ago. Because I used to worry. Now I can see, I can make up my mind and keep my mind calm because of Dhamma.
Yes. Because worrying doesn't help you anyway,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's really true. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Next, Rick Cooper from Ohio.
Good morning, Ajahn.
Good morning.
Thank you for teaching. Much metta to Rohini. Last week, I don't necessarily have a question, but I would like to make a statement. Last week, I talked about my heart surgery 6 months ago and my meditation, and I had turned away from body contemplations and just stayed with one-pointedness. But yet I was having some challenges over the last 6 weeks or so with dukkha sukha, and it was really kind of uncomfortable. So based on your advice last week, I did turn back to body contemplations, starting with the elements, and really found myself in a lot of pain because those sensations were much more dominant in that capacity. And going through daily activities, I can turn my mind to different things. The mind is always looking for an object, and I can keep those objects on cooking or whatever it may be. But when in meditation and I turned my focus on body contemplations, I was realizing the discomforts as a result of the traumas to the body. But they kind of passed. They passed within the meditation after a few minutes, of course, or maybe 30, 40 minutes. And I got a lot of insights out of it and a lot of comfortability in my heart as a result of it. So I appreciate your wisdom. And just one more thing. I see the doctor again on Tuesday, today's Tuesday. Let's see, Wednesday, tomorrow. They film all of the surgeries, and I'm going to see if I can get a film of them doing my surgery and opening up my chest and stuff. I think that would be really profound and freaky and very freaky. But anyway, thank you for your teachings and thank you for your support and all your wisdom.
Okay, you're welcome. I hope you see the light, see everything according to what it is. Okay, next, go to Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. Greetings. I don't have any questions tonight. Just happy to be listening in.
Okay, go to Marco from Holland.
Hi, Ajahn.
How's everything?
Good. My meditation's going well. I think yesterday I had a unexpected good session. Funny enough, there's quite some changes at work which affected me. So my meditation last week was not that good, which was right after the session I had with you, which was interesting because then I immediately thought about, okay, this is what it's all about. Nothing remains the same. Everything changes. But what I'm realizing is that when your expectation is lowest on the meditation, you actually go through the motions, actually get the best results. So I'm wondering if that's the right approach, just to do so and get used to doing so. Same with mindfulness. I realize that I'm being more mindful in everything I do. I think my walking meditation is going very well. I become very calm, and then afterwards I can do my regular meditation really good. So yesterday was really an eye-opener for me, which I don't know how to describe it, but it feels good. I just don't have the words for the feeling I had. And a question that I had was about, in the past I used to be afraid of having a stroke and then not being able to think or do anything with my body, and I've been contemplating that a lot. And I know that I read about the mindfulness at point of death, that will help with the next rebirth. So if you're mindful, you're able also to remember some of your past life. But how would it work if you would have like a stroke, or how would that affect the mind? Does that affect the mind, or is it truly only the body?
Well, it depends on how you train your mind. If you have trained your mind well, then whatever happens to the body will not affect the mind. But if you haven't trained your mind well enough yet, whatever happens to your body will affect your mind, because your mind will react to what happens to the body. It will have this cravings or desire to be or not to be. See? You have the desire to be well, and when you get sick, then you can have a negative reaction to it. And this can cause you a lot of suffering to the mind, not the body. But if you prepare yourself in advance that this could happen, and when it happens, you accept it, then there would be no suffering in the mind.
That would be a formation of fear, probably. And in my case, that I would be worried about that in the past. And because I would be worried, I would be creating that suffering.
Because you're not yet ready to accept that situation. So you have to train your mind to accept it, because it's uncontrollable. Your body is uncontrollable. You cannot say how it's going to be. So you have to prepare yourself to accept whatever will happen to your body. But you try your best to look after it, But if should anything be on your your ability, then you just have to accept the consequence of that. The worst is death anyway, so just think about death a lot of times. And whether we like it or not, we're gonna have to go through it. We can go through it peacefully, or we can go through it traumatically.
I had a dream a couple of nights ago that I saw a rat that was dying, and I remember the feeling that I had in the dream, which was the feeling of unease and trying to look away, and at the same time this voice trying to let me know, like, okay, you have to go through this in order to get the next step. It's so I've been contemplating it a lot, and it's helpful actually, because it makes me realize that it's gonna happen sooner or later. I have to be ready for it always. It's not gonna stay as it is, and at the same time, I'm realizing that I don't like the body much, because we've started to do the food contemplation a lot, and I'm really realizing that every bit of my body that I'm seeing is just basically my food, and that's interesting.
Yes, you are what you eat, right?
Exactly. So the last time I saw my face, I was thinking of a hamburger. No, it's priceless that you, by seeing the elements and really understanding that everything is the elements, you really become what you eat. And I always thought this was this thing. Yeah, sure, but I don't know why. It's like when you're younger, you think it's the stuff that's in the food that goes to your body, but the body's just not the same. It is the food. It literally is the food. And that's, yeah, eye-opening. So yeah, Supatrang is going well as well, and I'm looking differently at the body now. So I think it's going well, but it's difficult for me to judge, especially because I know in the past I've been on one hand I've been very insecure, and by that making myself arrogant, and now I don't want to accept any progress that I'm making unless I've million checked it. Like I let it happen. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's just do my practice. I'm just gonna follow my practice as is, because I know it's giving me peace of mind, so that I keep going like that. And it's also thanks to you, Tanajan. So I just want to pay my respect as well and say thank you.
Okay, let's keep working at keeping your mind calm and teaching your mind to see the three characteristics in everything.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. That's all the work we have to do. But we tend to forget the three characteristics. We like to think of things as being permanent, as being controllable.
I've pictured the other day as my thoughts. It's like I'm building this castle of thoughts that I want to analyze, and at the same time, it's like by building it, I'm trying to make it fixed, but it doesn't stay. So I just have to not build it. It's just like observe it. It goes away. It's fine, and that's the trick also. And I think yesterday my meditation, that's why I think it went so well. I really felt something falling away. It was not like, it was almost as if you felt something detach, and I don't know what it was, but it felt really good. And I just know that it was because there was peacefulness, it was calmness, and that's what I want to pursue more. And without the expectation, I think that's it, because I was not expecting it to go well. And that's what I think, even though I try to tell myself, don't expect anything, by the fact that I'm telling myself not to expect anything, I'm actually holding on to that. So I just shouldn't think about it, just do it. And then it's actually works.
Yes, it's the doing that gives you the result, not the expectation.
Yeah.
Okay, just keep doing, just be mindful, and everything will fall into place.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay, is that all?
That's all, Tanajan.
All
Thank you.
right. Next, Marsha from Ohio also. Meeting Rick Cooper from Ohio.
Yeah, I'm wondering where he is in Ohio. I'm in the Dayton area.
Can you reply, Rick? Where are you from? I'll let you to chat a little bit.
Where are you from, Rick? You're muted.
I think the admin has to unmute, allow
Okay.
the first.
I'm in Cleveland, where it's 9 degrees this morning.
Oh, well, we're at 10 degrees here in Centerville. Real cold. I had to get the kids on their school buses. Cold and lots of snow, and yeah, that's the way it is. But yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay.
But Cleveland is a real drive. It's like at least 3 hours. by the car. So it's not, I don't typically get up to Cleveland. I think I've only been there once. But yeah, things have been going pretty good. I survived the holidays and just kind of I'm trying to be a knower and not a doer. And things are just so much easier that way, where life is happening around me. And I do my little part where I feel I should invest. And since I had that experience where the mind separated from the body, I've been like less connected to my life. It's like there's a little separation all the time that wasn't there before. And
Yeah, there are two parts, the watcher and the actor. The body is
yeah,
the actor and the mind is the watcher.
yeah. So I'm really trying to be the watcher, and everything is easier if you're just the watcher, even just going through the day, getting your lunch.
Yes, but
You
you have to
know,
be a detached watcher also, not
yeah,
attached watcher.
yeah, yeah.
Just
So
let things be. Everything comes and go.
yeah, yeah. And then in the seated meditation, you know, when the mind starts going in those thought trains or there's a feeling in the body, I just keep telling myself, not mine, not myself, not what I am. And I'm able to understand that in a different way where I can let it go then, because I really know now that the mind and the body are different because I had that experience. So it's like, okay,
Yes,
won't go there.
it's just a matter of applying it in your daily life when you're
Yeah,
not
I have,
meditating.
yes,
But
yes,
sometimes we can forget, and we sometimes become attached to our body and our possession.
yes, yes, absolutely. So I'm working on that, to stay in the knowing and let the doing just happen.
You have to keep going back to your meditation for this knowledge also, because it can
Okay.
become less effective the longer you're away from your meditation.
Mhm.
You can
Okay.
forget, but if you keep going back into your meditation, you can see the separation of the body and mind more
Mhm.
often. Then this will makes it more easy, more less for you to forget. You know.
Yes, yes. I had a teacher once. He was just saying that forgetting is the ignorance. And it's so true. When you're off with the defilements, it's like, oh, I have forgotten. I've forgotten to be awake. I, it's like either you're awake or you're not awake. And it's so clear now. It's becoming just very clear.
Good. Anything you like to ask me tonight?
You know, I don't think so. I just wanted to get back in the room to be with you guys and thank all the participants for their questions are so helpful, and the answers that you give help me a lot. So thank you all.
Okay.
Thank you, Tanajan.
Happy for you to join us.
Okay, thank you.
Next step from Oregon. Is it cold for you there, Otto?
No, not really. It's like 50 degrees. It's a little cold in the morning, but it's yeah, I feel a little guilty how nice it is for us. It's like sunny and 50s. Can't complain.
Good.
I'm doing good. I don't have any questions. I've been really working on my practice, doing a lot of sitting, and I can't say that I'm where Marcia is, but when I get into my sits, I can get myself still, and it feels really good. So I've just the sitting practice has been good. Yeah.
Yeah, just keep it up. Don't forget.
Yes, yeah. And that's all. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Kok Sing from Singapore.
Greeting, Rajan. Yeah, just to update you, last week you asked about that I update about my aversion to the birds crowing. So just to let you know, yesterday it was raining whole day, so I didn't go for the upper dana for the monks at Ipinabata, so I don't have a chance to walk under the trees where the birds are crowing. Yeah, so maybe next week, when I go to Upper Dana, and then I will see how is the effect when I walk under the trees where the crows are residing. Yeah. So just to let Prajan,
Okay.
Then one question. This evening, I was reflecting on the talk last week when you were telling Sui about looking at one's spouse as a source of dukkha instead of as a source of happiness. And I'm just thinking, if we are able to see one's spouse as a source of dukkha because they are everything in this world, human beings included, they are anicca, they are anatta, and therefore by this nature they are dukkha. And once one is able to see the dukkha in having a partner, in having a spouse, then one would be disenchanted, and one would not want to get a partner in future life. So is this so-called the message by Lord Buddha from the fire sermon about disenchantment?
Well, it's similar. The fire sermon said that everything that you see, hear, or feel, or touch are all like fire that cause you suffering. So whatever you have, whatever you possess, they are all anicca, dukkha, anatta. So you will be burned by them if you possess them. If you don't possess them, then they will not burn you. And the fire that burns you is the fire of attachment, of cravings, of greed, hate, and delusion. But if you don't have any greed, hate, or delusion, they will not burn you. So you have to, if you live with your family, you must not be attached to them. If you don't want them to burn you, to hurt you.
So how do we not to be attached to our family?
Just see them as being the three characteristics, having the three characteristics. They are impermanent. They one day, sooner or later, will have to be gone. And they are anatta, there's no self, they're just the four elements, something that you cannot control. If you try to cling to them, they can give you dukkha or suffering. So you must be ready to let them go when the time comes.
Then, Prajan, may I ask them, how do we so-called, in one way we want to practice to be disengaged and not attached, not cling to our family, And on the other hand, we also want to practice metta in our so-called dealings with other people. So how do we balance these two needs?
Well, you can have loving kindness without attachment, see. Like when you have loving kindness for other people, you don't have any attachment toward them. So you can do this with your family also, your family members. You can have loving kindness, but at the same time not have any attachment for them.
Okay. Yeah, I think for other people, because they are not my, let's say, my offspring or my spouse. So the cleaning, the grasping may not be that, but when it comes to one's offspring, then the cleaning and the attachment will be very strong.
So you have to contemplate a lot on the anicca and anatta nature. Every time you see them, you have to say they are anicca, they are anatta. And they're gonna be separated from you one day, sooner or later. If you can constantly remind yourself of this, then you can let go of your attachment also. And it will be more helpful if you can meditate and get into jhana. Then it will be easy for you to let go.
Okay.
But at least you have the wisdom now. You have the knowledge now that you're gonna have to lose everything that you have, whether you like it or not.
It's borrow wisdom at the moment.
Yeah, but if you keep reminding yourself, one day it will become your own wisdom.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't be lazy contemplating about these facts.
Yes, Ajahn.
Constantly reminding yourself, anicca, everything is anicca.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
See how you feel. If you try it for one day, just think about everything, about losing everything. See how light your mind will be, light and easy, peaceful and calm, and have no more worries about them.
Okay. I will try to contemplate that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Next, outsourcing in Chinese now today. Chinese character.
Good evening, Tan Ajahn. May I ask a question?
Yes.
Normally, every weekend, I go for my meditation session at the meditation center. Last Saturday and Sunday, my mentor asked a question at the beginning of the Dhamma sharing session. He asked a question. Anyone has experienced calmness, experienced samadhi or concentration? Please put up your hand. I didn't put up my hand because I wish to stay low profile level. I didn't put up my hand. By not putting up my hand, am I breaking the precept of lying?
You're not saying anything, so I don't
I
think
didn't say
you're breaking
anything.
any precept. If you're telling something that's not true, then you are.
Just I kept quiet. I didn't raise my hands. It's all right now. See?
I think it's okay,
Okay, yeah. Now I feel that my mindfulness is better. Then when I do walking meditation, I could walk without thinking much thoughts, very little or no thinking. Then when I go for sitting, I go into samadhi very fast. Then I discover I do 15 or 20 minutes of walking. It's very helpful.
Good. If you can also, when you're not meditating, if you can contemplate on anicca, dukkha, anatta, also will be very helpful.
Do that.
Everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. Body, feeling, the mental states. or the external possession that you have, people and things, they are anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then you'll be ready to give up everything. Then you will have no suffering when you lose everything. You feel relief,
Thanks,
really.
Kantan.
When you have nothing, you feel better because there's nothing for you to look after or to worry about.
My attachment to my family is still strong. I always want them like Monday to go separate ways.
Yes. It's good to think because it will happen. And if you're ready, if you don't cling to them, then you can go peacefully without any anxiety or worry or fear. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Alfredo from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Hi, how are you? I haven't seen you for a few weeks. Can you unmute your microphone yet?
Okay, Bante.
Yes, can hear you now.
I bought a tablet.
Tablet, a new one, huh?
10 inch.
10-inch tablet. Okay.
Yes,
Good.
yes. Very big, very big.
Uh-huh.
It's the same of a cell phone.
Uh-huh.
Big cell phone.
As big as a cell phone, huh?
Yes, it's the same. Tablet and cell phone today is the same. It's very, very, very. I bought on Sunday. I wanted to read a Indian text, Bhagavad Gita. Do you know Bhagavad Gita? Uttara Gita.
What's
It's
that?
a Brahma, a text of Indian, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva.
Shiva.
Shiva, Brahma.
Yes.
The name is Bhagavad Gita. Is a book.
Yes, the Hindu scripture.
Hindu. Yes.
Bhagavad
And
Gita.
I want to.
Yeah.
Yes, and I wanted to read about the dissertation about illumination on Bhagavad Gita. And the name is Uttara Gita, and I bought the tablet to read the text.
Okay.
I bought in internet, 25 reals, $6, to read on the tablet, to both archive to read.
Yes.
And I read, but it's very it's very different. It's the same of Buddha, sabe? The Hindus. But the Nirvana, the names of Nirvana is Brahma. They call Brahma on place of Nirvana, né? They not talk Nirvana, they talk Brahma, né? But the teachings is the same, né? Not have aggregates, né? Not have 5 aggregates. Is sunyata. The sunyata is the same, né? And it's very interesting to read, né? I read it very, very interesting. Not have the maga power, né? Not have the Four Noble Truth, né, Bante? But they try to understand the sunyata, né? They try to understand and they explain. And I bought the tablets to read.
Yes, I think they talk more about jhana than nibbana.
Yes,
Jhana is when you get to Brahma, into the Brahma realm. But jhana or Brahma realm is still samsara.
Yes.
It's still subjected to rebirth.
Yes.
But with nibbana, you don't come back. You don't take rebirth anymore.
Yes.
This is not anything. This is something that nobody knows except the Buddha himself.
Yes.
The Buddha discovered nibbana.
Yes. Yeah, but they read Brahma not in jhanas, né? But it's not truth, né? But they talk about Brahma. It's not in jhana. They practice samadhi, but they don't have for jhana, né? But there is truth, né? It's false, né? But it's fake, né? But it's not for me. It is fake, né? But it's not for jhana. It's fake, né? Is hallucination, né? But it's moha, né? But it's not truth. But it's for me. But but the samadhi is the same. They practice samadhi a lot, né? They practice samadhi. I don't think it's the same, Sabant. The difference is the goal, né? Arahantaship and Bodhisattva. The goal is the difference, né? But
Yeah. If you want to get to nirvana, you have to understand the Four Noble Truths.
yes. They don't tell about Four Noble Truths. They don't have teachings to practice, né, Bante? They only have teachings to talk,
practice samadhi. They use samadhi. That's the highest level that they can attain to.
Yes, they think is the highest level. Only practice samadhi, but samadhi is not words, né, Bante? Samadhi is only practice, né? Samadhi. It's difficult to understand the Hindu's teachings, né? Because it's not possible, né? It's not possible. You have a Brahma, you have a solid think, né, Bante? It's impossible, né, Bante? A good divindades.
Why did you want to study anyway?
What?
Why did you want to study the Brahma teaching?
Where are you studying?
Why did you want to study the Brahma teaching, the Pavaka?
Only curiosidade. Only to see.
I see.
Only to see.
Just curious, huh? Just curious.
Yes, curious. Yes. Because
Okay.
they say that is the desperting, né, Bante? The enlightenment. For him is the enlightenment. And I want to read, né? And I bought a tablet. It's good.
But you still prefer the Buddha's teaching, though.
Oh yes, Arahant, né, Bante? Arahant is
Okay.
no samsara practice, jhana, samadhi practice, né, Bante? Sati.
Samadhi,
All days.
then you have to move to wisdom. After you have samadhi, you have to move to wisdom.
Yes. For me, samadhi is very important, né, Bante? Because no samadhi is very sad. Samadhi is very important to me. Samadhi is. I think samadhi is the last teachings of Buddha on Four Noble Truth, né, Bante? So samadhi is the last teachings. Because samadhi is the more important.
Yes. Before you can get to wisdom, excuse me, you have to have samadhi first. Excuse me.
Yeah. I know that the knowing is very, very difficult, né? But the knowing is a Buddha. Buddha have knowing. We don't have knowing. But we teachings and we studying and we practice samadhi to have a good comprehension, né? But to have a good teaching, né? To have a good understanding about the Dhamma. But knowing of for jhana is very, very difficult, né, Bante? Knowing is very, very difficult.
Yes, you need mindfulness. You need to practice a lot of mindfulness.
Sim, but it's difficult, né? But for jhana is for few peoples, né? But only yogis, meditation a lot. I have a teacher on past, Utaranayana, Myanmar teacher, Myanmar monk, né? And they stay in my house for 2 weeks, né? In 2000, and I reach for Jana for 2 days, né? But I know what Jana, I have Jana. I know of nobody. Alfredo not exist, but forget Alfredo, but Alfredo not exist.
No, Alfredo. No,
not
nothing.
exist.
Yeah, emptiness.
Empty, not body of Alfredo. Alfredo not have body, but not have mind too.
Okay.
No body, no mind. Alfredo not exist. I have Jana. I know that word for Jana, but it's very difficult. Né? But it's not important. Né? Important is the practice, né? But Anapanasati on breath, né? In the samsara, né? We are in the samsara, né, Bante?
Yes, you have to get rid of Alfredo when you come out of samadhi also. So you're not Alfredo. You're just four elements.
On breath. Samadhi not breath.
You're just earth, water, fire, and wind.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, but I was renovated my house, renovated my wood for 5 months.
I see. Finish yet?
And I end now. Huh?
Finish?
Yes. Very good, but very, very good. I play a meditation on the outside of my house, né? A place to meditation, and I did five places to meditation. The same Buddha and 5 ascetics. You know the history of Buddha, né? Buddha and his 5 friends, né? Ascetics.
Yes.
Então I do. Other day I show to you outside of my house. It's very good. The place of meditation for me, and 5 places for 5 ascetics.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have 5 ascetics, but the place is there. But
okay, in case they come to see you, huh?
Yes. My renovating is very good.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for your information.
Oh, thanks, but thanks for teaching.
Okay.
I was listening you in Facebook.
Okay.
It's the same here, né? But it's
Yeah,
the same.
it's the same.
Yes,
Okay.
I like a lot. I like you are my sangha, né, Bante? My only sangha.
I see.
You are my sangha, né?
Okay, good. I'll see
It's
you
good.
next time.
It's good to have friends in Dhamma, né, Bante?
That's right. The Buddha
say,
yes,
Buddha
the
say
best-
the friends is more important in Dhamma.
yes, your friends in Dhamma can help you.
Yes. Thanks.
Okay, see you next week. Next, Nita and Saket from Northern California, San Francisco, Santa Clara.
Good evening, Bhante. Good evening, Ajahn Suchart. Well, I don't have any question, but just an update that we are leaving tomorrow from California, and it's been exciting and hectic last 1 week.
Which airport you're leaving from, San Francisco or Oakland? San
Yes.
Francisco. When I left the state, I left from Oakland Airport. I hitchhiked from Fresno up to Oakland to Berkeley. I have friends staying there for a few nights.
Okay.
Then I caught a plane from Oakland Airport.
Yes, they are close by. Yes, Berkeley, Auckland, San Francisco. Yeah.
Okay, have a good trip, good journey. Next week I'll see you in India then.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you for all the help and support that you've provided us, and that's how we have been able to make this decision and follow the Dhamma path.
Okay, I hope you don't blame me if it doesn't turn out.
Um, it will turn out well, I have the feeling. But yes.
If anybody to blame, you should blame yourself. That you're not good enough yet for the transition.
True. I agree.
How
Yes,
about
actually,
you?
yes, Ajahn, we are very excited to go, and we have been wanting to retire early for many, many years.
Mm.
Oh, absolutely. And everything you said, even when we look at our planning, everything has come together. So, and absolutely, we will not blame you. In fact, we are really, really grateful because my mom's health's also going down, and it's been coming down a lot over the last week or two, even. So, I'm just so happy that we are going to India and we can also support her and practice Dhamma. I mean, those will be our, I think, most important things that we plan to focus on when we go. A little stressed about our journey because we are also taking two cats with us, and one of whom is known to hate any kind of motorized or jet transport. So we got some chocolates for the people sitting next to us. So at least they don't drop us off in Europe or something on the way. Um, and yes, and Ajahn, I had a question. I've been trying to use the mala beads as a way of just kind of chanting during the day, and just wanted your thoughts. I feel it's quite helpful that with the mala beads, I'm able to, just think of Buddho, or when I'm with people, metta, um, or anicca. But is that a good idea, or should I not be using such a tool?
Well, when you're starting, this can be helpful for your mindfulness, but eventually you want to do without it because it will be better. It's like a crutch, when you're not able to walk yet, then you need a crutch. But once you're able to walk, then you should just give up the crutch.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you rely on your beats and one day you should lose it, then you will not be able to practice, right?
Yes, Ajahn, that's correct. Even now, many times I get stressed if I can't find the beads where they are, and it's become a new challenge in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to rely on any external thing. Rely on your mind, what you can generate with your mind, use with your mind. So try to practice until you have enough mindfulness that you'll be able to do without anything.
Certainly, certainly.
I think the key is to do a lot of practice. That's the key. To do as much as possible. Mindfulness all the time, all day long, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Any moment if you can remember, say, oh, I should be mindful, I should be mindful. I shouldn't be thinking about this and that if I don't have to. Okay.
Certainly, Ajahn. Thank you so much for your teachings, and thank you for encouraging us to take up retirement. Appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Okay, I hope everything works out well for you.
Thank you, Ajahn.
All right, see you next week, maybe, if you are able to come in.
Yes.
Okay. Next, I'll go to Ricardo from Uruguay.
Hello, Ajahn. Nice to see you again and all the Sangha.
Yes.
I just want to thank all the members of this family for sharing every week all the questions and especially you, Tana-chan, for all your wise teachings. So I have deep gratitude for all of you. And as you told me last week, I'm working with the Four Noble Truths, especially the first one, seeing what causes suffering, and also making my daily practice. And as you said before, what I'm trying to do is to be aware, of course, all day long, and to know that I am the consciousness and not all whatever happens outside, including my thoughts, feelings, sensations, etc. So it's been great, your teachings, and I think I'm doing good. I have one question, and that is intellectual, and that is the difference between, I'm working always on the same theme, and that is sati and yoniso samanikara. What's the basic difference?
Sati is mindful, knowing what you do or what you think. Yoniso manasikara means to think carefully or think judiciously. When you investigate something, you want to investigate thoroughly. This is manasikara. Like when you investigate the body, you want to see all aspects of the body as being anicca, aging, sickness, and death, as being anatta, being a four element, as being asubha, as turning into corpse, having the 32 parts that you cannot see under the skin, for instance. This is what you have to investigate thoroughly, not just superficially. That's what I mean.
Okay.
See all aspects of the body. See all the three aspects: the nature, the anicca nature, the anatta nature, and the suffering nature of the body.
Okay.
You have to contemplate completely all aspects of the body. Not just the part you like and forget about the part you don't like.
Yeah, it's like the food that we see nicely here, but no one goes to the bottom line.
Yeah, it's still food, right? But it's just change appearance. That's all.
Right. Say. Yes.
Okay. So
Again,
mindfulness is sati, and the manasigara means wisdom, the development of wisdom or investigation.
All right.
For knowledge.
All right. Okay.
Good.
Very good.
All right.
Good enough. Thank you, Ajahn. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Next, Sarasi from Switzerland. Still in Geneva?
Yes, Ajahn. Good evening, Ajahn. Yes, I'm in Geneva.
Good morning to you.
Good evening, actually. I'm sorry. Good evening.
Your evening also now. Okay.
Yeah, it's evening. I'm mistaken. I have two questions, Ajahn.
Yes.
It's one based on the last week's discussion on Ajahn Mun conversing with the Buddha. Is it, I understood that it's the pure awareness of Arahants that even after their passing away, they remain. The pure awareness remains. Likewise, can we say even a living Arahant, their pure awareness, it's the same with the living arahant. Their pure awareness remains. Only thing is that they have an attachment to the body. They don't have an attachment to the
Yes.
body.
One doesn't have a body and the other have the body. The living arahant still have the body.
It's all
The dead arahant no longer have the body, but the mind is still the same.
same.
Yeah, same. The same. The mind doesn't change or disappear with the
Can-
body
Mhm.
because they are two separate persons. Like the husband and wife. The wife dies, the husband still lives.
Yeah, yeah. So is it like even before they are passing away, the living arahants are already in that terms passed away? Is it?
That's right. The Buddha became enlightened at the age of 35. See. His mind had reached nirvana.
Mhm. Okay, for me it's a bit difficult to understand. I'm trying to clear that out for myself. Yeah. Yes, Ajahn. That's why I want.
You have to look the mind and body like the driver of the car and the car itself. See, they're two separate personality, two persons. Whatever happens to the car doesn't happen to the driver, right?
Mhm.
When a person doesn't have a car, doesn't mean he dies with the car. He still exists, right? When you don't have a car, you
Yes.
still exist. When you have the car and yourself with the car. So the body and the mind is like that. The mind is like the driver of the body. The body is like a car.
Mhm. Okay. I have another question.
Okay.
Yeah, it's during our meditation, when a pain comes up, do we have to contemplate on the pain, or is it better to ignore the pain and then continue meditation and then try to come to samadhi or jhana status?
Well, it depends on what you can do. See, the first way to deal with it is to ignore it by concentrating on your meditation object, such as a mantra, to prevent your mind from engaging with the painful feeling. Because if you allow the mind to engage with the painful feeling, it wants the painful feeling to disappear. And by having this craving for the painful feeling to disappear can cause dukkha or suffering to arise in the mind. It's the suffering in the mind that makes you unable to withstand the painful feeling of the body. So the first step is to pull your mind away from the painful feeling. Don't engage with the painful feeling by staying with your mantra. If you can stay with your mantra, then eventually the mind will forget about the painful feeling. And then the mind will become calm and peaceful and be able to coexist with the painful feeling. This is the first step we call the method of mindfulness, method or concentration. Concentrating the mind on your meditation object, such as a mantra. Don't let the mind engage with the painful feeling yet, because the mind will have the defilement, the craving for the painful feeling to disappear. And when you have this craving for the painful feeling to disappear, your mind becomes stressful, having suffering. And this will cause the mind not to be able to withstand the painful feeling of the body.
Okay. That
Then-
is in the initial stages. No, later on, can we,
Later
when we
on,
develop,
if you have strong mindfulness, strong samadhi, when you come across the painful feeling, you can engage it by using wisdom to teach you to study the nature of feeling as being anicca, anatta, uncontrollable. You cannot tell the painful feeling to change it to good feeling. But you can accept it, face it with calm, with equanimity if you have developed samadhi already. And just to leave the pain alone. Like you leave the sun alone. You leave the sun to rise and set by himself. You don't try to change that. You deal with the feeling the same way that you deal with the sun or the wind or the weather.
All right.
But you have to have strong concentration to be able to use wisdom.
Yes, it's very difficult, Ajahn.
So the first step, you should use concentration first when you come face to face with painful feeling.
Okay.
Don't engage. Focus on something else to get your mind away from the painful feeling.
Mhm. Okay.
Try it, see how it works for you.
Okay. Thank
But
you
you
very
have,
much,
but you have to
Ajahn,
be,
for
but
your
you have to
advice.
be patient. It might not happen right away. It doesn't mean when you recite the mantra for a few minutes, it will become calm. You might take a few longer time to do it, but just keep doing it.
True. Yes, Ajahn.
All right. I hope
Okay.
it works for you.
Thank you very much, Ajahn, for your teaching, and I wish you good health always and happiness.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next, Lavan from California, also, from Marin County.
Hi, Ajahn. I have a question regarding karma. Is whether there's related karma for like family members because we born, under the same family. So I wonder, is there any kind of related karma that bring people together?
No, it just happened that you just happen to have the body from the same parents. So
Oh, okay. So like some people born in an abusive family and some people are born in better family. Is that the individual karma that bring people to that family?
well, there are many causes for you to be born into a family. It can be karma, and it can also be some other thing. So it's not only karma. It just happened to be there. You just happen to have a body there from an abusive family, and you happen to process it. That's all.
So it could be by chance as well.
Yes, by chance or by karma also. Maybe you're attracted to abusive family. Maybe because you were abusive yourself to other people in the past. So then this can also cause you to be born with abusive parents to pay back your karma.
Yes. I have another question. I have a family member that I advise her to listen to more chanting and listen to Dhamma whenever she can, but she still prefer to go out and have fun. So if I already give her my advice and she chooses to do what she like, it's not my job anymore. Is that okay to let go?
That's right, because it's counterproductive. The more you tell her, the more she will resist and do the opposite thing.
Okay. So as long as I do my part and I
That's
can just
right.
let it go. Yeah. That's it, Ajahn. Thank you for
Okay,
your
you're welcome.
teaching.
Next, Diana Anjali from Canada.
Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn Suchart.
Yes, what can I do for you?
Yes, my mindfulness practice is coming and going, but I'm definitely now benefits when I'm able to stay with it throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, when I do the review, I definitely see that when my mindfulness was low, that's when the most suffering came. So I'm happy about that progress. And now I have a stable morning practice. So that also is good to have some sitting time, not just when I'm going about the life. Yes, I had some thoughts and questions about the what the people were sharing, and I had like a question about a family situation when like my family member was being scolded for something, and when I was hearing about it, like in the passing, I wasn't thinking too much of it, and then when I don't know, suddenly when I heard more about it yesterday, I felt like very upset about it. Like, well, actually, it's about my mom. I felt about upset that, you know, some people have hurt and harmed her, and then she was hurt and harmed, and then I was trying to find a way to apply Dhamma for that, like in terms of I was trying to recall what your teaching was about, just like it's better to like walk away and not try to prove yourself right. Could you speak a little bit more about that way? I don't know if I explained my situation properly. Like what could I share with that family member, with my mother, that might be helpful in this particular situation, because it's present in her life, and just because she's not looking at it, I find that when it comes up, she has painful reactions to it, and now it appears that I am feeling pain for her. So eventually I was able to detach from it a little bit and return, like get back to my mindfulness. And then the solution is still unknown to me. Like, what would be the Dhamma solution? To just accept it as like anicca, anatta, Dhamma, or should there be something done about it in terms of, like, you know?
Well, first of all, you should accept it as being anicca, dukkha, anatta. So this will then remove the stress in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then the next step is to see what can you do with that person. Can you talk to that person, or you can do something for that person or not? See the possibility. If there's something that you can do, then you can do it. If you see no possibility of doing anything for that person, then you just have to stay put, not do anything.
I think previously I wasn't really acknowledging the pain and suffering it was causing her, because she was keeping it kind of like not sharing with me too much about it, just like the facts. So I was accepting it like theoretically that she's upset. But yesterday I kind of really felt how bad she was feeling about it. And also I connected it to her inability to just be more present and happy with me, for instance, like that she was constantly overcome and overwhelmed inside and not having tools to resolve it. And then I thought, like, well, my human instinct was to just kind of like start to defend her. But then I thought, well, I don't have that kind of power. And then I thought, what would be like the most spiritual Dhamma Buddhist solution to just, because my mother is older now, she's 73. And she doesn't have a lot of the tools that I do, like the Dhamma, she doesn't have access for that. And I guess my pain is when I try to share the love and the kindness, and she's not really able to accept it because she's kind of rolling in these painful thoughts and experiences that come up.
Then you just have to accept that also as being anicca, dukkha, anatta.
So just like not try to change it, just let her go through this process.
Unless you can change it.
Because it's
if you
anicca.
can change and do it. If you cannot, then you just have to accept it.
Yes, I wish I could change it, but I don't think I can, because it's just sitting with it is pretty difficult for her. I feel.
Okay, then just leave it alone. Leave her alone.
Leave it alone. Yeah, I actually that's what I've ended up doing for the last 2-3 weeks, just not to stir the pot, and she hasn't reached out too much. So then I had to work with my own feelings of just being separated. So hearing you share more and more that it's all about just like birth is causing aging, then sickness and death and dying. When I did reflect on it, it seems that I don't think I can fully understand how aging would look like, because I'm not there yet. And well, clearly it's going to happen, because it happens for everybody. It's just so tricky not to get sucked into the rush to produce or to become, you know, like with the mainstream society I live in. Like over the weekend, somebody was, well, I was just sharing that, you know, we've slowed down more to find more balanced, and other woman started to share, well, you need to be doing this and this and this for yourself, and I started to react. Like that moment, the mindfulness wasn't too much there, and just not to be like, it's, yeah. I find most of the society is not really doing the Dhamma path. We're all caught up into this producing, and then we get old
and die, and
Sorry,
you die.
yeah. We get old and die, and I'm just trying, like, now that I know that I'm wanting to just try to spend my life a little more, like establishing in Dhamma a little more, and also passing that on to my child also. Sorry, yes, those have been my contemplations this week.
Yeah, just forget about other people. Just try to get yourself free from suffering. That's all you have to do. You cannot help other people if they don't want to be helped. Okay. All right. Any more questions?
No, I think I have the basic tools for just mindfulness and accepting things that I don't have control and power over. Like mostly that's what I struggle with. Like, for instance, not having the house as tidy as I think other people have it. And I was able to accept the mess in one corner of the house and just work at it one step at a time, and not let it ruin my day, you know, still do the mindfulness practice. And because it seems like there's just no end to the chores, right? So then if I'm always doing chores, there's no time for Dhamma practice.
Well, you can reduce your chores to just the minimum, to the essential. Then you have time for meditation practice.
Yes, I was successful before I had a child, and now with the child in the picture, it's a lot of the mess is just organizing her toys and her studies. And I'm gonna, you're right, I'm gonna try to downsize a little bit more, so that if it's not tidyable within a day, then maybe we don't need to have it inside the house, at least, because it just ends up on the floor.
Live simple. Just have the
or
basic necessity of life.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to see if I could get her on board with me in terms of just, because it's kind of like we're a team now, right? Because she's going to be 8 very soon, so she's got her own needs and her own desires and wishes. She made some progress actually in terms of like becoming aware that like she really wanted something, and then she's like, and I'm like, and so what happened to it now? And like she wanted a toy or something, or an activity, and then she said, well, it changed. I don't want it as much anymore. And then I said, well, let's use that as an example for next time when that comes up. So I feel we're getting somewhere now. And also, as a parent, I often feel pressure to give in into getting something, like an activity that she would like to do. And then finally, I let myself like get a craft for her, which was like building. Like they say, for children, it's good to work with their hands for development. Building from clay something. So it was on sale, so we got it, and then we used it yesterday, and turned out like in the mind it was like this big workable thing that was going to last forever and ever, and like it totally was not. It was done within half an hour, but instead of shaming, I just said, well, I'm so glad we went through this experience, because in the future we can just get clay, which is the cheapest and the simplest, and then you can just like have a clay activity instead of getting all these fancy tools, which is what the media and the stores want you to buy, and they make it so sellable and believable. Like you're bad, like almost like you. I feel like I'm a bad parent if I'm not getting it for my child, So yeah, I'll work on reducing some of the toys and activities. Hopefully this sharing was helpful for someone.
Okay. All right. I'll see you next time, okay?
Yes.
All right. Next, Korean Czech, also from Canada, on the west coast.
Greetings, Tan Ajahn.
Greetings, Ajahn.
Tan Ajahn, you're sharing with Ricardo about Uniso Manasekara. You said it's a thorough investigation. Is that
Yes,
Vipassana?
yes. Investigation is Vipassana.
And is it similar to Vimamsa,
Yes,
Ajahn?
and it's also the same thing, Vimamsa, in the four Iddhibada.
Yeah. So this, like, the investigation is Dhamma investigation only, is it, Ajahn?
Yes, Dhamma. Dhamma is everything. See.
Ah.
The furniture, the chairs, the car, these are all Dhamma. If they are anicca, they are all Dhamma. Anything that's anicca, dukkha, anatta, they are all Dhamma.
Oh.
But basically, these are minor stuff compared to the major stuff that you have to investigate, which is your body, your feelings, and your mental state. These are more important objects of investigation. But before you can get to the body, feeling, and the state of mind, you have to be able to let go of your attachment to the external thing first, such as your possession, your wealth, your money, and so forth. Because you value your body more than anything, right? So it's harder to let go of your body than let go of your money. You have to choose about losing your life or losing your money. You say, I'd rather lose money first, right? Okay. So you must be able to let go of your attachment to money and external thing first before you can come and tackle with the harder stuff like your body, feelings, and states of mind. But you have to let go of everything that your mind come into possession with, having possession of. Anything you own, you have to give up, because nothing belongs to you. They are borrowed stuff.
Yeah.
You borrow it from nature. You borrow it from the four elements, the five elements.
Borrow from the five elements. Oh.
The fourth element is the body, and the fifth element is the mind.
Yeah. Not the fire, earth, wind.
Yeah, they make up your body. See, the four elements make up your body.
Oh, oh.
So one day the four element the body will return back to the four element.
Yeah.
The body will disintegrate into four parts. Disintegrate into the four elements. And there will be no body anymore after that for you, for this body.
There'll be no body for you for this body.
But you go get a new body as long as you still have cravings. The mind, the fifth element, the knowing element will still go on and attach to a new body, a new birth. As long as you still have cravings for sensual pleasures, you need to have the body as a tool to access the sensual objects. See? But if you have no sensual cravings anymore, then you don't need to have a body. Then you become a non-returner, an anagami at least. An anagami doesn't reborn anymore as a human being, but he's still reborn as a Brahma because he's still clinging to the rupa jhana and arupa jhana. Even then, but when you get there, then you have to let go of your attachment to the rupa jhana and arupa jhana if you want to get into nibbana. So you have to give up the mental states. The rupa jhana and arupa jhanas are mental states. So you have to give up everything if you want to enter into nibbana, emptiness, nothing. See? People don't understand emptiness. They think something like a lamp, a fire distinguished from the lamp.
Yeah.
You know, but it's emptiness from cravings for anything. No cravings for anything. No cravings for sensual pleasure, no craving for pleasure from rupa jhana or arupa jhana.
Emptiness. Emptiness from craving. Not like fire extinguished. No, it's
They extinguish of the cravings and the rebirth consequences, the consequence of rebirth. No rebirth. Once there are no craving, then there will be no rebirth in either any realm of existence. Okay.
Yes, Tanaja.
Sri.
Then in Satipatthana, Buddha taught us first establish mindfulness like sati, then get into jhana, then we contemplate, right? So that part contemplate, like the internal, like external, that part is considered also
That's right. Also your body and other people's body. See, sometimes you forget other people's body. You think you're a person who will die, not the other person. So you have to contemplate both. First your body and other people's body. Or sometimes it can also mean, no, I think this is the what it means, internal and external, your body and other people's body.
Okay. And then it's just like the birth of this body, right? The arising and then the vanishing is like the
So
end
we
of
can
it.
see that we are all the same. We are all in the same boat. Nobody is better than anybody. Whether you're rich or poor, we are all the same. We pay the same price. Aging, sickness, and death is the price for us to pay when we take birth. You can be king, so you can be a pauper. And you still have the same thing. You still have aging, sickness, and death.
But my wise is different, right? Like because Arahant don't have to suffer.
No, because he let go of his attachment to everything, not just the body, to feeling and to mental states also. A Sotapanna only let go of the body, and feeling, but he's still attached to the beauty of the body. A beautiful body is still attached to, and he's still attached to the states of mind. He hasn't yet let go of his attachment to. So you work up your investigation. First, you investigate the anicca nature of the body, aging, sickness, and death, and you investigate the changing nature of the feeling. You don't only have good feeling. You have good feeling. Sometimes you have bad feeling. Sometimes you have neither. You have neutral feeling, and this feeling are not under your control. You have to be able to live with them, with any type of feelings. Then you have to let go of your sexual desire for a beautiful body by studying the unpleasant aspect of the body, the 32 parts, or the corpses.
That is the Sakadagami onwards, and Anatta.
Yeah. Asotapanna hasn't yet started the super contemplation yet. It starts with the Sakadagami, and it's complete with the Anagami. The Sakadagami only can let go of the beauty perception 50%, half of it. He still see the body sometimes beautiful and sometimes it's not beautiful. But an anagami see the body is not beautiful all the time. Then the business with the body will be over once you reach the third stage of enlightenment. Then you have to deal with the mental states that you haven't yet let go of your attachment. You have to see the same thing. The mental state are also anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then when you let go of them, then there's nothing left to contemplate, to investigate anymore. The work is over. Brahma, Usitang Brahmacharya, he said, the work of a what you call a Brahma, the work of a holy life is over. Brahma Usitang Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means holy life. This is usually when somebody became an arahant, he will pronounce this. Vusitam brahmacharya. The work of the holy life is over for me. No more work to be done. Finished.
Arahant, no need to Uniso Manasekara.
No need to meditate, no need to anything anymore. He's graduated from college. He's got his doctorate degree. Nothing else to study.
Yeah.
Can enjoy life.
Now he go teach. If he decided to teach. Some Arahant decided not to teach. Some Buddha decided not to teach. So they become silent Buddha, silent Arahant. Maybe it's not their style. Some people don't like to teach, They find it difficult to teach because you need special skill in teaching also.
Yeah, good thing you became a professor. Good.
Not by choice, really. by discovery, people just discovered me. I tried to hide in the forest, but they still come after me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
It's late.
people.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Taja.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Next, Piao, haven't seen you for a while.
And we were away for a bit, and we are back. It's cold, -7 in Toronto, and good morning.
You use Celsius of centigrade, Celsius of Fahrenheit.
Celsius. We are talking about Celsius, Canada. Yeah,
Celsius,
-7.
okay.
So I don't know.
-7. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 18 this morning here in Wat Yannasangwararam. It was also considered to be coldest for us.
Yeah, but it's
18,
comfortable.
18 Celsius.
Yes. You must be very comfortable when the hot weather is cool like that. 18
Yeah.
is very comfortable.
Oh, we have to put on some
okay.
some heavy clothing.
Okay, extra clothes, yeah. So Indy was here, but I think she had an appointment. She told me to say that she had to go, but we've been listening in and out with the Facebook channel, although we couldn't get engaged in the Zoom session, but we've been watching you.
That's good. You have any comment today?
Yeah, and when you talk about, I think that there's a Yoniso Manasikara came a few times. I guess the Manasikara is giving attention. Yoni is the kind of the birthplace, the origin. So Yoniso Manasikara in the activity of going to the origin. I guess finding out why has the dukkha, the attachment, the clinging to the aggregates, the suffering there. So the suffering is not innate. Suffering is not automatic. That suffering is what we make because of the clinging. Because anicca itself is not suffering. Just because it's anicca, it's not going to suffer. Because if you cling to what is anicca, that's where you're going to suffer.
That's right.
Because everyone knows everything is anicca, but people don't suffer. But because people who cling. So it's an activity which we can get rid of by ourselves. If you have the Yoniso Manasikara, going to the source of things, which is the third noble truth. If you completed the Yoniso Manasikara, that you realize, and that of course you have to go through the path, the fourth one, but then you come to the third noble truth.
Yes, the fourth one is the Yoniso Manasikara.
Yeah.
When you complete, then you let go of your clinging. Then you let go of your clinging, then you get to the third truth, which is the cessation of suffering.
So the fourth one is the activity which end to all activity. You know, there's karma that lead into end of karma.
That's the holy life. See, you have to live a holy life, the Noble Eightfold Path.
And I also heard recently, Tanisaru Bhikkhu, that sometimes we put anicca dukkha anatma at the beginning of the path, and sometimes people get kind of confused, like because the path is gradual. Anupubba Dhamma, Anupubba Sikha, Anupubba Pratipada. So Sila, Samadhi, Prajna. So if you put the Prajna in front, sometimes people get a bit of confusion. Everything anicca, everything is impermanent. What's the point of doing this? And everything is suffering. The whole life is suffering. And if you say everything is impermanent, who is getting the karma? What's the point? It doesn't matter. Whatever I do is anatma. So sometimes it can be confusing for people who grab from the tail rather than from the head. So it's interesting comment I heard recently.
It can be the other way around. So if you don't know you are sick, then you won't go to see a doctor, right?
True.
So you first have to know that you are suffering.
Dukkha, yes.
Then you have
That's
dukkha.
right.
And once you have dukkha, then you know you want to get how to get rid of your dukkha.
Okay.
Then you go to the path. You go to
Makes sense.
The fourth noble truth. That's why the Buddha started with the first noble truth, telling us that we are all sick.
Yeah. There is sickness in life. Not, like everything is not suffering, but there is suffering in life. Sometimes people say everything is suffering, but again, that's not what Buddha said. Buddha said there is suffering in life. Life is not suffering. that sometimes people interpret that life is suffering, but there is not true. Buddha never said that. He said there is suffering in life. Oh, these are the examples of old age, sickness, death, separation. All that is cause of suffering. Why? Because you cling. Cling to what? Cling to the aggregates. I mean, it's a very nice structure. It's not like haphazard, but the step by step, he walks you through the path.
Suffering comes from your clinging to the
Clinging.
That's or craving, clinging or cravings.
Cling, yeah.
For things that is for things to be permanent, when nothing is permanent. See.
So the craving is one arrow which kind of causes everything, because the craving leads to clinging. According to the Paticcasamuppada, but whenever you crave, that means you're thinking about the same object over and over again. So your thoughts, you cling with your thoughts to the object or the feeling or the perception, what you like or dislike. You try to get rid of it. Again, that's also clinging.
That's right. You're going to only have pleasant feelings. See, so you cling to things that give you pleasant feeling, and when you lose them, then you go look for a new one to replace the old one. So you have rebirth.
Yeah. So it's a temporary thing. Like you just, I mean, the rebirth is a matter of going through samsara. Like, as you say, anagami, I mean, at least if you become a sotapanna, you have very few little of suffering left over. 7 births or left or less.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your comment.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for this room is really, really, I think we missed a lot like the past few weeks, but we are back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Next, Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm here to pay respect. No questions tonight.
Okay. Our last participant, Belinda from Singapore also. You have any question?
Ajahn. I'm glad Dr. Pia added the 5 aggregates. That are clinging. Ajahn, I want to ask about emptiness. We need the body to experience emptiness. So we need human form to be able to cultivate. Not all other beings that do not have a body form, the form. So there's a saying, emptiness is form, form is emptiness. So we have to balance the body as well. So Mr. I think Ajahn Tanisaru Bhikkhu, he taught before, like before we cross, it's like the banana skin. We need to keep the banana skin, so to protect the fruit until we are ready. We remove the skin. So at this stage, like, yeah, I wanted to ask Ajahn. There will be a retreat opportunity for 10 days, but the location will be in a bungalow house. Many people will be near very close proximity. At this point, I feel the body is very tense up. So I feel hesitant to be like too much, to be close proximity with too many people. But yet I feel like this it's necessary for me to go through a more intense retreat. So I'm wondering, like, do we? I feel I'm not sure if it's like Kilisa. I think I need some like a lot more walking meditation, Ajahn, to release aspire first. Otherwise, it's the breath is quite tense up and everything. So I'm thinking that I should be in like seclusion and not too many people. So I'm a little confused. I'm not sure if it's a defilement or do I face up to just stay with the discomfort? Ajahn?
Well, to seek seclusion does not define it. It's Dhamma. The Buddha teaches us all to seek for seclusion. Try to avoid crowds. But if you need crowds to develop, then you first might have to practice together with other people. If you cannot practice alone, then you need the other people to help you push your practice along. But if you can push yourself, then you don't need the crowd. Then you should seek seclusion. So which point are you now at? Are you still at the crowd level or on the seclusion level? You have to ask yourself this question.
I feel I need to be in the crowd, but there's some balance to be in my own room also, and like not too cannot be sleeping like too closely together. So
Well,
the
you
setting
some-
would be the setting would be like we sleep very close together. So I foresee there will be a lot more tension for me.
So maybe it's not good for you then.
Maybe I should go like for retreats that are I can go in group, but I have a room to
Okay,
myself.
you have to look for
Uh-huh.
that.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Next, Kenan, are you hearing? Are you want to talk? You haven't turned on your video. Just see your picture. I'll go to Kunjup. Okay. You turn on your microphone now.
Hello,
Can
Tarajan.
you speak?
I have no question. Just listening in. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Next, Kunjup, one more question from Facebook or email.
กราบนมัสการท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ We have 6 questions. And the first question is from the assistant Gmail and it's from Samanji. I have read that after attaining parinibbana, it's like a lamp being extinguished. We cannot say where it went. Does this mean a Buddha's mind can exist in a spiritual realm forever? Have I got it correct?
The mind exists in the spiritual realm of everybody. The mind of everybody exists. Your mind, my mind still exists without the body, see. So it doesn't matter whether you are an arahant or just an ordinary being, your mind still exists. The difference is that if you are an arahant or the Buddha, your mind exists on the level of nibbana, in which it doesn't take any rebirth anymore in samsara. But our mind, if we haven't yet become enlightened, then our mind still exists, but in the level of samsara, we still take rebirth. That's only the difference between the Buddha's mind and our mind, is that his mind doesn't take any more rebirth. Our mind still take rebirth. But both of our minds will exist regardless of whether we're enlightened or not enlightened.
The next questions will be all from Facebook. The first question is from C. Ratnan. Good evening, Ajahn. If we know that something not beneficial will happen to our friend, need I tell my friend or just noble silent?
It's up to you.
The next question is from Louisiana Doyle. Bandami Tanajan, I am in the US, Massachusetts. I hope Tanajan is doing well. I recently lost my dog. He is a husky, almost 15. While he is alive, he always hear me chanting. Is it possible for him to be reborn where he can hear, see, and practice the Dhamma?
You cannot choose where you to be reborn. It's just a matter of chance and a matter of, I guess, being at the right time at the right place.
Does the dog pass like human where they are still hanging around or move on right away? Thank you, Tanajan.
It depends on the accumulated karma, how much bad karma or good karma they have retained. If they have lost, if they have more good karma, then they will take a heavenly realm of existence. If they still have more bad karma than good karma, then they might continue to be reborn as animal again, until both the good and bad karma become balanced. Then it's the time for them to take their human rebirth.
Next question. Would you please explain the fourth jhana and how do we know when we reach the fourth jhana? Thank you, Tanajan.
It's like everything disappears. all you have there is just emptiness.
The next question is from Tanik. If we're going to forget everything in the next life, are our effort and practice all in vain?
No, you will forget your name, your addresses, your people you knew. But what you will not forget is your habit. Your habit goes with you. What you used to like will go with you. What you used to hate will go with you.
And the last question is from Sui Ike. Ajahn, can you please help to clarify whether neutral feeling and equanimity, is it the same?
No, they're not the same. Equanimity is a state of no emotion, no hate, love, fear, or delusion. While neutral feeling means it's not good feeling and it's not bad feeling. So they're not the same. Okay.
That is all, Ka. That is all, Ka.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight or today. Thank you for your company. I hope this meeting is beneficial for you and can help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, be mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu.
Sadhu,
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you.
Thank you.